Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Thank the Lord that I didn't record a video on this too early. I literally just happened to delay my recording session by a couple hours today, and it turns out that that slight delay saved me from having to re-record the entire video, because I was gonna go in on this whole Neo situation. Once again, one of those instances where a celebrity says something that's totally benign, something that I think the majority of mainstream America agrees with, most common sense people, but most importantly, most parents, but it was counter to the woke mafias, and so of course instantly the pressure's on, and based on the initial statement, based on what we initially saw, it seemed like it was yet again another celebrity caving to the woke mob, groveling, apologizing, please forgive me. But in the end, I guess there was a little bit of a twist to the story. Neo, kind of a based guy, less of a coward, which was my initial reaction, and more of a hero. You know, it doesn't take much these days to be classified a hero in my books. You stand up to the woke craziness, you tell the wokies to pound sand, and you're pretty much good in my books. Especially if you're a celebrity, I think you instantly reach hero status because it takes incredible courage to do that, and boy, Neo's got it. Let me show you guys what's going on. Topic of today's video, never apologize to the woke lunatics. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's first start off with context. Neo did a podcast. I've seen this podcast before. Can't exactly remember the name. Someone will write it in the comment section. It'll probably be labeled on the actual video itself. Anyways, he does a podcast and he says this.
I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and it wasn't but two genders, and that's just how I rocked. We live in a weird time, man. We do. We live in a time where a person will have a mental breakdown in front of their camera.
Right.
Wait, let me white balance. No one's right.
That's crazy, right?
What the hell is that? Like, if you are of sound mind enough to find the light,
right?
and
exactly.
then break down,
Exactly.
ain't nothing wrong with you.
Right. No, there is something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you.
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, man.
Right.
I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
lost control.
If your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that,
Right.
He's 5.
Right. And where did he get that
if
from?
If you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. Can't drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right. Oh, right. What sexual orientation, and he can cut off his pee-pee, and that, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever.
And I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they can take your kid from you.
Yeah, that's true. It just passed in California.
That makes no sense.
Every rational, normal, level-headed adult listens to that and says, makes sense. Or, I don't agree with it, but he's entitled to his opinion, and then just simply continues walking along their merry way. You know, regular adult stuff like not being a complete emotionally unhinged crazy person. But of course, you don't need me to tell you how the woke crowd reacted. Pretty much on cue as always. They did what they usually do, metaphorically taking to the streets with pitchforks and torches, yelling off with his head. The cancel mob was mobilized, and not too long after that statement, or I guess not too long after the backlash, I think it was an Instagram post, maybe to all of his socials, this gets released. A picture of him in the background with text that writes, "After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity in the LGBTQI+ community. I think they're missing a couple there, so I understand how my comments could have been interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic, so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. At the end of the day, I lead with love and support everyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness." And well, it was one of those moments, huh? Most people were quite disappointed, especially considering in the interview he's going on about how important being a parent is and how he'd do anything to protect his children. He was alluding to the fact that he was courageous and tough, a tough father. Great thing. Then immediately after the backlash, issuing this pathetic, cowardly response. Most people were pissed, and I'd say rightly so. I don't exactly even know who Neo is. I'm sure I've probably heard one of his songs before. He seems like he's a rather big celebrity, but personally, I mean, I don't really have a dog in this race, I guess you could say, so it didn't really affect me much, but I certainly found the apology quite pathetic and commented on Twitter. But a couple hours after the apology, Neo releases a personal video where he says this.
What's going on, loved ones? This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question, okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless. So, with that being said, y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours. Speak your opinion as much as you damn well feel like it. Because as I said, they're not important, they're not special. Everybody got one, and you're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine, all right? Y'all feel how y'all want to feel. Have a great day. It's Neo. Peace and love.
Retracts the entire thing and says, my publicist wrote that. He's retracting the apology, standing by what he said, and again, telling the woke crowd, all of these faux outrage losers, to pound sand. And that is exactly what I needed today to lift my spirits up. Good for him, man. And you know what? Obviously, he never wrote that statement. Look, I don't want this to be taken as an attack on Neo. Seems like a fantastic dude, a great father. But his grasp of the English language is, I'd say, mediocre at best. And look, I'm no English scholar myself, not trying to be disrespectful, but that statement wasn't written by him. Obviously, it was written by a law firm or a PR firm. I highly doubt that Neo wrote, gender identity is nuanced, that he needs to better educate himself and approach future conversations with more empathy. If anything, ChatGPT wrote this nonsense. It's the same damn thing every time. And it makes me realize that this sort of societal consensus on many of these social issues isn't organic at all, but rather it's the media, HR departments, executives, and PR firms who create this sort of faux consensus on these topics. Celebrities these days aren't allowed to have real opinions or personal opinions. No, they can only have accepted opinions. Whatever the music or movie industry dictates are the ideological limitations, well, you have to stay in bounds or face cancellation, or if you step over the line, then the PR firms come in and issue apologies for you. I wonder if he even greenlit this, or if they just did it behind his back. That's probably exactly what happened, and really good on this guy. This is what I mean when I say he's a hero. You know, to go against an entire cultural industry, an industry that can destroy you, stop you from ever being able to work ever again. If they really wanted to, they could blacklist you in Hollywood or New York media to put it all on the line to say, no, I'm not apologizing. That was my publicist. I stand by what I said, and if I offended you, well then, I'm sorry that you got offended, but not sorry for what I said. You know, it takes cojones. And good on this guy, and hopefully this trend continues. You notice it's been happening more and more. Back in the day, 5-6 years ago when things were really sensitive, celebrities weren't doing this stuff. They were simply apologizing and then hiding from public view, hiding from the media for a couple months, waiting for the tensions to drop and then resurfacing. Well, now it's nice to see celebrities across the board from different venues of the entertainment industry refusing to back down, refusing to cower to the ideological extremists refusing to give in to their authoritarian intimidation tactics, telling them, again, to pound sand, and standing by what they believe in. If you can't do that, I mean, then what do you got? You got no dignity left. You might have a whole lot of millions, but you certainly won't have any respect. You know, I'd understand it if you're just building your career to begin with, but if you got the millions, if you got the big net worth, if you're in a position that I generally describe as being uncancelable, and what do you gotta lose? Not much. Don't give in to the cultural Marxists. Freedom to speak, freedom to hold opinions, and of course self-respect and dignity are much more important than selling your soul to the degenerate entertainment industry. The irony is palpable. All this faux outrage, all the news, all the press, over a totally benign statement by Neo. Meanwhile, Cardi B and the rest of her clones exist and all the gangster rap. Nobody seems outraged over 17-year-olds taking each other's lives and rapping about it. Neo simply says, protect the children, this is my opinion, and it makes world news, not national news, world news, across every single news outlet. Give me a freaking break. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.